On the feast before you.
I watched someone at the market today hold a ripe fig to her nose, breathe it in slowly, and then set it back down, as though she were saving it for a worthier occasion. I thought of you immediately, because you do the same thing with your life. You have, I suspect, a version of yourself you are keeping in reserve, a braver version, a freer one, the one who finally speaks honestly, who laughs without checking first to see who is listening, who uses the fine linen rather than folding it away for guests who may never arrive. You are holding that self back, waiting for the day when circumstances become hospitable enough to bring it forward. I write to you gently when I say, that day is a mirage. It shimmers beautifully on the horizon, and it will shimmer there for the rest of your years if you let it. Not because life is cruel, but because no future moment will ever send you a formal invitation. You must simply walk in and sit down. Consider how strangely we behave with what we treasure most. We lock away the wine for a special evening. Then the evening comes and we think, no, perhaps a more special one still. We postpone the letter we most need to write, the walk we most want to take, the conversation that would mend everything, because today somehow feels too ordinary to hold such weight. But I ask you this, what is any great day made of, if not ordinary hours that someone decided to fill with something true? The grand occasions you are waiting for are not delivered from outside. They are created from within, by the quality of your presence, by your willingness to treat a common afternoon as though it deserved your full and tender attention. The bread that nourishes you does not wait for your appreciation before it becomes warm. The river does not pause until you are wise enough to understand its movement. Life is a feast laid out before you, not a reward placed at the end of a long corridor of self-improvement. You do not need to earn the sunrise. You only need to turn your face toward it. And yet so many of us stand in the early light with our arms crossed, suspicious of gifts we have not suffered enough to deserve. What a strange way to greet a kindness. I know what holds you back, because the same thing once held me. It is the belief that you are not yet ready, that there is some final preparation still required before you can begin to live fully. One more book to read, one more flaw to repair, one more fear to conquer. And so you sit at the edge of your own existence, like someone who has been handed a beautiful instrument and spends all evening tuning it, never once playing a song. The tuning, I should tell you, never ends. The strings will always need adjusting, but the music, even imperfect music, fills the room with something the silence cannot offer. And the people gathered near you are not waiting for perfection. They are waiting for the sound of you trying. There is a particular comedy in how we treat our days. We are extravagant with worry, spending great sums of attention on catastrophes that never arrive. We rehearse arguments with people who are not in the room. We furnish imaginary futures with such lavish detail that we forget to sit in the chair that is actually beneath us. Meanwhile, the afternoon light is doing something extraordinary against the far wall, and the tea has reached precisely the right temperature, and someone nearby is laughing at something small. All of it unnoticed. All of it unrepeatable. We are so busy preparing for life that we keep stepping over it on our way to somewhere else. It would be funny if it were not so costly. Perhaps it is both. What if you were to approach this single day as though it were sufficient? Not perfect, not remarkable, not the day you would design if you had full command of the heavens. Just sufficient. Enough light to see by, enough warmth to feel held. Enough time to say one honest thing, to do one piece of work with genuine care, to notice one small beauty you would normally rush past. A bird building something ambitious in the eaves. The smell of rain arriving before the first drop falls. The particular satisfaction of a door that closes well. You will find, I think, that sufficiency is a far richer country than you imagined.
It has been waiting for your visit with great patience and no resentment at all. I do not say any of this to burden you with urgency. The anxious voice that screams, "Time is running out," is not wisdom. It is only panic wearing a philosopher's robe. No, what I am suggesting is closer to relief. You have permission to stop rehearsing and begin. You have permission to be unfinished today and still offer your gifts. The world is not asking you to arrive polished. It is asking you to arrive. There is an enormous and beautiful difference between the two. Think of how a child eats a strawberry. There is no saving it for later. There is no deliberation about whether this is the ideal moment for strawberry consumption. There is only the bright, startling sweetness and the juice on the chin, and the wide eyes that say, without any language at all, "This is wonderful." You were that child once, and you were right about everything. The strawberry was wonderful. The puddle was worth jumping in. The song was worth singing badly and at considerable volume. Somewhere along the way you learned to hesitate, to calculate, to hold yourself at a careful distance from your own delight. I am asking you with great warmth to close that distance. The people you love are here now. The work that stirs you is available to your hands this very morning. The body you inhabit, with all its tender imperfections and its strange, loyal persistence, is carrying you through a world so generous in its beauty that if you saw it clearly for even a moment, you would not know whether to laugh or to weep, and would probably do both. I have lived long enough to know that regret does not visit us for the things we did imperfectly. It comes for the things we did not do at all, for the love we kept sealed in its envelope, for the adventure we declined because the weather looked uncertain, for the years spent becoming ready for a beginning that kept receding like a tide. The feast grows cold while we sit in the next room, debating whether we are worthy of the table. So here is my quiet challenge to you, friend. Today, use the good cup. Wear what you have been saving. Say the tender thing. Begin the work that frightens you, even if you begin it clumsily. Take the fig from the shelf, hold it to your face, and eat it slowly, with your eyes closed, as though it were the last fig in the world. Because in every way that matters, it is. This particular fig, on this particular afternoon, in this irreplaceable life of yours, will never come again. And when you discover, as I believe you will, that the ordinary day was always the feast, that you were always welcome at the table, that the music was always yours to play, I think you will laugh. Not at the time you spent waiting, but at the sweetness of finally sitting down.